I want to thank my colleague and my friend, Mr. Benny Thompson, for organizing this important special order hour honoring his fellow Mississippian, Miss Fannie Lou Hamer. Yesterday, Cosmopolitan published an article written by Zerlina Maxwell, aptly titled, "Trust Black Women." In the article, Maxwell, a fellow New Jerseyan, quoted her colleague who said, "Black women have been a part of every great movement that has happened in this country. We always show up." Tonight, we celebrate the birth of Fannie Lou Hamer, a Black woman who, like many of us, always showed up. In 1964, Fannie Lou Hamer showed up at the Democratic Convention to speak on behalf of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party and highlight the hurdles, both physical and political, that were preventing blacks in the South from showing up at the ballot box.
It was the 31st of August in 1962 that 18 of us traveled 26 miles to the county courthouse in Indianola to try to register to become first-class citizens.
Upon returning home, Fannie Lou Hamer found that she had been fired from her job. According to the New York Times, she said, and I quote, "They kicked me off the plantation, they set me free. It's the best thing that could happen. Now I can work for my people," close quote. That same year, Fannie Lou Hamer ran for Congress as a candidate for Mississippi's 2nd Congressional District. And even in her defeat, Ms. Hamer continued to show up and work for her people. In 2014, 50 years after her testimony and her run for Congress, residents in New Jersey's 12th Congressional District elected me, the state's first ever African-American woman, to represent them here in the House of Representatives. During my freshman term, I joined my two amazing colleagues, Representative Robin Kelly of Illinois and Representative Yvette Clarke of New York, to form the first ever Congressional Caucus on Black Women and Girls, a body of elected officials who work to ensure that Congress shows up for us. And in 2016, I stood at the Democratic National Convention, standing on the shoulders of Ms. Hamer's legacy, and proudly told America that this nation is stronger when everyone has a chance to succeed. Ms. Hamer would beam with pride, knowing that my colleagues and I continue to beat back hurdles placed at the feet of minorities and poor that restrict their access to the vote. Ms. Hamer, however, would be very sad to know that instead of being fired for trying to exercise the right to vote, they change polling places or amend requirements for valid identification. It's the same game, she would recognize. It's just different tactics. I'm honored to stand here to honor the birthday of Miss Fannie Lou Hamer, walk alongside her footsteps of greatness, and like she so often did, lift as I climb. We as women and women of color have to be the standard bearers. We have been and will continue to be. We have always and will continue to fight for what's right and what's necessary, even if we must do this alone. As we battle back against the racism, the sexism, and the bigotry that runneth over in this administration, we must always be awake, alert, and to show up. Today, in honoring the birthday of Fannie Lou Hamer, we simultaneously celebrate the strength of women, the ways we can encourage one another to be our sisters' keepers, and continue to build a future for the next generation of women ready and waiting to show up and to lead. I yield back. Thank you.